Big Sean just dropped his new album, Better Me Than You, and with it came some controversy. That controversy involves his long and complicated relationship with Kanye West. This album's rollout all began with tons of drama. It all started when Big Sean performed a freestyle for On the Radar. This was only a few weeks before dropping his album, but he hadn't actually announced anything about a new album in the works, so no one knew about it. Well, during his freestyle, Sean rapped,
"Niggas looking for engagement like they got their knee bent. I got better things to do than find someone to beef with."
Fans didn't know who Sean was talking about in that diss. A lot thought it was likely directed at Kendrick Lamar, as the two have had beef for a while now, but the DJ from On the Radar posted this shortly after the freestyle went live to clarify he wasn't talking about Kendrick, but rather another Gemini. Well, the only other Gemini is Kanye West. This activated the Kanye cult fan base, and in the same day, a user ironically named Big Sean Don 811 ended up leaking Big Sean's whole album, which again no one even knew he had coming, and along with the leak, he said,
"Since you want to disrespect Ye so much, here's the album. Fuck him and his whole team."
And ended with,
"Ye told me to leak it."
That's fucked up. Sean's last album was 4 years ago. Imagine working on a project for, let's say, 3 years, and then someone messes up your whole rollout and leaks it early. At this point, Big Sean had no choice but to start his rollout, and he really had to expedite the whole thing. After all this leaking happened, he hopped on IG Live to respond to the Kanye leaking allegations.
So, I know he wouldn't do that, because that's trash. I know he wouldn't do no shit like that. So I know he ain't do that. Niggas talking about, yeah, he did that. I know he ain't do that.
So it's unclear if Kanye did or did not play a role in leaking Sean's album. To the common observer, it seems like Kanye and Big Sean's relationship took a turn for the worse after Kanye said this in 2021 during his Drink Champs interview.
The worst thing I've ever done was sign Big Sean.
But in reality, it started all the way back in 2015, the year Big Sean released his album, Dark Sky Paradise. Big Sean and Drake were amongst the golden era of freshmen, the likes of which boasted artists like J. Cole, Wiz Khalifa, and Kid Cudi to name a few. They both started their careers almost simultaneously in 2007, with early projects from both, Sean's being Finally Famous, and Drake's being Comeback Season. Both these artists were on the rise, blowing up super quickly, and with that rise came promising mentors for both of these guys. Lil Wayne for Drake, who signed him to his label Young Money, and Kanye West for Big Sean, who signed him to his label Good Music. The story alone of how Big Sean got signed to Kanye's label is a whole video in itself.
He's like, man, Kanye on the radio, man. Or, yo, if you go down to the radio station and rap for him, he'll sign you. Finagle my way in the back offices, got past his security guard, can I rap for you? He was like, all right, man, you got 16 bars, but you gotta rap while we walking out the station. He fuck with it, man. I gave him my CD.
Early in Big Sean's career, he understood how fortunate he was to have someone like Kanye sign him to Good Music and serve as his mentor. With this in his mind, Sean wanted to pay it back by becoming as successful of an artist he could for Kanye's Good Music label. After dropping 2 more mixtapes that continued to build up Sean's hype and fan base, he dropped his debut album, Finally Famous, in 2011. It had a pretty good reception, debuting at number 3 on the charts, selling 83,000 in its first week. That same year though, his contemporary Drake dropped his second album, Take Care. It went number 1 and sold 631,000 in its first week. So although they both started off around the same time, at this point, Drake was on another echelon of popularity in comparison to Big Sean. And Young Money, his label, was reaping the benefits. There was definitely a friendly rivalry building up between Young Money and Good Music, as they were the most talented and popular rap labels in the industry at this time, headed by the 2 rappers paving the way, Lil Wayne and Kanye. So of course this friendly rivalry trickled down to their 2 proteges, Drake and Big Sean. And you could see this take shape on any song the 2 hopped on together, as they would just try to outshine each other. Songs like Made,
Low Key, Peter Parker Flow,
and especially All Me, where Big Sean pretty much steals the track with his final verse.
Ho, shut the fuck up, I got...
Now it's 2015, and Big Sean has 2 number 3 albums under his belt, while Drake has 3 number 1s and is a worldwide star and household name at this point. 8 years ago, Kanye signed Big Sean, taking a chance on a teenager after hearing him rap off the top to him while in Detroit for a radio interview.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Kyle Louis Vuitton Don. I just want to shout out to my dog, new Good Music artist, Big Sean, straight out.
And Big Sean still hadn't delivered a number 1 album. Sean was determined to make this a reality with his upcoming project, Dark Sky Paradise. While preparing it, he released released the first single, I Don't Fuck With You, and it killed. And came with it an amazing music video featuring his mentor Kanye. The reality began taking shape. This could be the album that gets him that #1 spot. With great momentum, Big Sean released the second single, Paradise, and this one flopped. So with Sean heading to another #3 album, he had to make sure his next single was huge. Well, who better to feature on it than his longtime friend and rival Drake? Anything he touched around this time was a hit. Drake was down. In fact, he had a half-baked song he was willing to give Big Sean, but they just had to finish it.
Drake was the one who came up with the idea of the song. Drake had a concept, like, you know, a little scratch of the hook. We got in the studio and finished it together.
And that day, the third single off his upcoming album was born, Blessings. Sean knew it was going to be a hit when they would release it the same day as the album. Well, this is where the tension between Big Sean and Kanye begins.
It was me and Drake. My album was immediately due that day. Played on the final album. He said he heard Blessings and said, I have to be on here. And I was like, bro, I already got you on 2 songs on my album. He hopped on 2 other songs already. He's like, I need to be on this record. I was like, bro, my pre-order goes up tomorrow. He's like, we about to do it right now.
Kanye's Big Sean's mentor and friend. He wouldn't be here without him, so everything he does is for that man. Even though it seemed a bit weird, Sean couldn't deny this request. And clearly this was an ego-charged request from Ye. At this point, Lil Wayne wasn't as big as he used to be, and instead Drake had taken the torch from him. Ye though was bigger than ever. And even though no one else may see it this way, in Kanye's mind, it's Kanye versus Drake. And Drake would poke fun at this with lines like,
Now I got a bigger pool than Ye, and look man, Ye's pool is nice, mine's just big is what I'm saying.
Of course, Kanye's such an easy target for this type of stuff too. I mean, 3 weeks after this line came out, he literally dug up his pool to install a lake. It's just a big dick measuring contest with Kanye and Drake. Well, back to 2015. The day before his album was due, Big Sean stayed up late to help Kanye write his verse. Then they submitted it just in time for mastering and mixing to get it on the pre-orders. Except, it didn't.
Next day, I hit a mastering. You get the verse? No, we didn't get any verse. No.
But it seemed like Kanye was actually okay with this.
Talk to you on the phone, bro. Pre-order going crazy, we gonna do the radio and a video version for Blessings. Is that cool? Yeah, it's cool, it's cool.
But then the music video released, and it, along with the song, blew up, and Ye had a sudden change of heart.
Next thing I know, we're shooting a video, and he's spazzing on me. You did this because of, like, I'm loyal to Drake.
When headlines originally blew up in 2021 saying how Kanye dissed Big Sean on Drink Champs, the issue Kanye said that he had with Big Sean was that Big Sean was disloyal to him during his presidential campaign.
I've changed this man's family, and both John Legend and Big Sean, when I ran for office, got used quick by the Democrats to come at they boy that actually changed their life. And that's some sellout shit. And I don't rock with neither of them.
Along with Sean, Ye dissed John Legend, who did actually not support Kanye during his presidential campaign. I mean, I don't blame him, but that was actually true. Big Sean, on the other hand, never talked about anything political, so the heat he got from Ye during this was super uncalled for. But taking into context of what we know now about Big Sean, Drake, and the song Blessings, it makes sense. Kanye's mental state has obviously been in a terrible place these past few years. So either he legitimately mixed up a quote Drake allegiance with a political allegiance, or Kanye didn't want to speak on the whole 2015 debacle that happened and instead just grouped in Sean with John Legend, saying his hate for both of them is politically charged. Of all Kanye's good music signees, Sean's released the most albums, sold the most records, and been on the label the longest. So the fact that Kanye has it in his mind that Big Sean's loyal to Drake and disloyal to him is just dumb.
I don't care what people agree with me. If you think that, like, I'm wrong in any way in this situation, you are...
Going back to that leak weeks before the album drop, it's still not clear if Kanye is the one who gave the okay to the leaker to release Big Sean's whole album online. About a year before Kanye went on Drink Champs, Big Sean, who had been on Good Music since 2007, ended up leaving the label, but had only good things to say about it. Aside from the 2015 fiasco, it may be that Kanye has some ill will towards Big Sean because he left the label, but really, he shouldn't. Personal relationships aside, Kanye Kanye's been an ass in their business relationships too. First, back in 2020, Ye promised to give back his 50% master share to all his good music artists. Sean was thrilled about this and tweeted a thank you in reply. But Kanye, of course, never did this.
He said that the masters, he said he was gonna give his artists back his masters, and it's just like, that hasn't happened yet, but that would benefit me a lot.
Then it was revealed on Drink Champs 2 years after Sean had already left Good Music that Kanye still owed Big Sean $6 million in royalties that he'd never paid to him, even though Universal gave that money to Good Music.
I had to spend my own money auditing my label because millions of dollars are missing, and you can tell when millions of dollars are missing. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on my label thinking Universal owed me this money, and the money had been paid to Good Music.
Knowing all this stuff happening behind the scenes, like $6 million never paid out, Ye not delivering on his promise, and still having Big Sean being nothing but loyal and nice to Kanye, and then for Kanye to just hop on Drink Champs and say what he said, and on top of that, seemingly a couple years later being the reason Big Sean's leak happened, it's, I hate to say it, but just evil. Big Sean though is taking this in stride. Even after all this, he's only had good things to say about Kanye.
I can't be angry, I'm not angry, because that's too much of a burden for me to carry.
The only silver lining out of this whole situation is that the project that did leak wasn't actually finished, and the final track list had only a few of the songs that were actually in the leaked version. With this album coming fresh off of all this Kanye controversy and being the first project he's released since leaving Good Music, Better Me Than You could be called Big Sean's revenge album. But like Sean said before, he's not angry, that's too much of a burden for him to carry around, so rather than revenge, Sean could call it his redemption album. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please throw us a sub and a like. Also check out our Discord server link below and the merch we're selling on our official website.